My name is Harry Wortth. Morning, Mrs. Maybury.
Your breakfast's on the kitchen table, Mr. Worth.
Ah, thank you. Just 2 letters and 1 postcard for you.
Oh, the card will be from my sister Hilda in Scarborough.
Yes, it is. She's having a lovely time.
Oh?
Yes, the weather's holding out. It did rain on Tuesday, but it didn't matter, you see, because she went to the cinema.
Oh. I wonder what she went to see.
She went to see The Sound of Music.
She's seen that before.
Yes.
Oh, what a shame the film broke down.
Yes, right in the middle of Climb Every Mountain.
Well, that seems to be all her news.
Yes, but it seems it's a very nice picture on the front. Pease Home Park with the sun setting.
To save time, can you tell me who these are from?
Oh, no, I can't. You see, they are addressed to you. I wonder who this is from, eh? OHMS.
Oh, on Her Majesty's service.
Oh, how very kind of the Queen to write to me. Yeah. Well, I know time flies, but surely it's not my 100th birthday.
Perhaps it's the income tax.
No, it can't be my income tax, Mrs. Maybury. I never pay income tax.
Then I'm sure it's the income tax.
10 out of 10, it is the income tax. And they do say I owe them a lot of money. There again, I owe lots of people money. The gramophone shop, the tailors, the shoe shop. How am I going to pay them? I'll answer it. I'm a brush salesman, so I must sell more brushes.
I wonder if I could help.
That's very kind of you, but I can't imagine you selling brushes, Mr.
Mr. Worth, I know it's none of my business, but why don't you open a bank account?
Bank account?
Yes. Let's face it, you do earn a bit of money sometimes, but you don't seem to be able to manage it. Now, the bank would do all that for you. They'd pay all your bills.
Yes, you're quite right, Mrs. Maybury. I've seen that advertisement at the cinema. There is one thing.
What?
We don't have to have that man living in the wardrobe, do we?
Come and have your breakfast.
Yes. I'll go to the bank later on.
Right, let's go over this plan once again.
Oh, Mick, we've been over it 15 times.
Look, this is just like any other job. If it's worth doing well. Now, just tell me what you've got to do.
I walk into the bank, I go to the manager's office, I knock on his door. When I go in, I stick my hand in my jacket pocket and pretend I've got a gun.
That's very good, Arthur.
Well, why don't I actually take a gun?
Because we haven't got one. And not only that, I can't stand violence. You get enough of that on television.
What time's he expecting?
11 o'clock. You've got 10 minutes.
Thank you, madam.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Could I see the manager, please?
Are you expected?
To do what?
Does the manager know you're coming?
Oh, no, only Mrs. Maybury. You see, she has an account here. She said I should come and see the manager.
Ah, you're here making an inquiry for Mrs. Maybury.
Oh, no, I don't have to inquire about Mrs. Maybury. I know where Mrs. Maybury is. She's home in the kitchen doing the washing up.
Why are you here, then?
Well, you see, it's not my turn. I do the washing up at night. Anyway, here I am.
Yes, well, now we've got your domestic chores sorted out. What's all that got to do with this bank?
Well, it's very simple, really. I just want to talk to the manager about my account.
Oh, well, I'm glad we've solved that one. I thought for a moment we were going to have to bring in Sherlock Holmes.
Very good, yes.
Yes. You wish to see the manager to discuss your account?
Yes.
Good.
You see, I haven't got one.
I'll just go and have a word with the manager.
Good, I'll come with you.
No, you stay there.
Yes?
There's gentleman to see you, sir.
Does he have an appointment?
I've no idea, sir.
Well, what's his name?
I've no idea, sir.
Well, is he a customer?
I've no idea, sir.
Are you all right?
I think I am, sir. Can you see him, sir?
Yes, well, I can spare him a few minutes, but I have another appointment at 11 o'clock.
The manager can see you now for a few minutes. First door on the left.
Ah, good.
Come in.
Ah, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
My name is Worth.
Well, Mr. Wortth, what can we do for you?
Well, you see, Mrs. Maybury thinks I should open an account.
Mrs. Maybury? Who is Mrs. Maybury?
Oh, I explained that all to that young man out there. Didn't he tell you?
No. Would you like to tell me?
Well, everything I told him.
Yes.
Oh, very well. You see, I do the washing up at night. Mrs. Maybury. He thought I was inquiring for Mrs. Maybury. I'm not. I know where she is. She's in the kitchen. Now, could we talk about my account, or we'll be here all day?
Oh, I see. You have an account here, yes?
No. But I would like to open one.
I see. Do you have an account anywhere else?
Oh, several.
Oh, really?
Shoe shop, gramophone shop.
No, I meant, do you have a bank account?
No, but I do understand if I open an account with you, you will pay all my bills as they came in.
Oh, yes, I would indeed.
Ah, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. If there's ever anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to ask.
Just one moment. There are one or two formalities, if you don't mind.
Delighted.
Well, now then, to open an account, you have to give us the names of 2 referees.
Two referees.
Yes, now, when I say referees, I don't mean football referees.
You mean someone who knows me and can vouch for me?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Well, you see, that's the rule, I'm afraid. We have to have 2 people to sign this form.
Well, now, that shouldn't be very difficult. You could do it, and that young man out there. Young man!
You know? No.
No?
It cannot be anyone who is employed by the bank.
Don't you trust one another?
Now then, how much do you propose to put into your account to start with?
Well, everything I have.
Splendid. And how much is that?
Well, I have 50 in the post office, and with what I have on me, altogether, 85p.
85p. Well, I can't pay all your bills on 85p.
Yeah, nor can I. That's why I came to see you.
How much do your bills amount to per month?
£20.
Yes, well, you do understand, don't you, that if we are to pay your bills amounting to £20 per month, you first have to pay us £20 per month.
I'm afraid I don't understand. I mean, if I can't pay them £20, how could I possibly pay you £20?
Mr. Worth, could we start from where you came in again?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea.
Now, you'll easily recognise the manager because he's a middle-aged man with glasses and he'll be sitting behind his desk. I'll give you 2 minutes, then I'll bring the card across.
And that is the only arrangement you have?
Yes.
She does the washing up in the morning?
And I do tonight.
Mr. Worth, I have another appointment at 11. I'll send in Mr. Roberts, my chief clerk. And he'll take you off to his office and explain everything slowly. Excuse me.
Come in. Hello, I've been studying your application form. It's rather complicated.
Now, don't say anything. Listen to me, and there won't be any trouble.
Oh, good. I never find these things easy. I'm delighted there'll be no trouble.
Good. And leave all the talking to me. Now, I've got a car waiting outside, and I want you to come with me.
Well, can't we deal with this on the premises?
I've told you I'm in charge. Now, are you going to come, or am I going to have to force you?
Oh, no, I've come quite willingly.
And make it nice and quiet, understand? Nice and quiet. We don't want to upset the other customers.
No, well, they have to concentrate very hard on those figures, adding up, taking away, and goes into...
Oh, dear, he's gone. Still, I think the bank will manage to survive without Mr. Worth. 85p, eh, Mr. Roberts?
I think so, sir.
But I keep telling you, as a man who's been known to make a few mistakes, you are making a big one.
Sit down. Arthur, the blower. Now listen, Mr. Manager, this has been planned down to the last detail.
Yes, this is the last detail you've got wrong. You see, I'm not the manager.
Don't give us that. You're not leaving here till they hand over the money. Now, when will the bank notice your absence?
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I'm sure they'll play up as soon as they realise you're in danger.
Hello, please. Good. Now listen very carefully. You know the bank on the corner of Chesterfield Street and Bertram Road? That's right. Oh, you've got an account there? How are they on overdrafts, mate? Well, listen. We've got the manager of that bank, and we want £20,000 for him, cash. You got that? Pardon? You want to know how they can get in touch with us?
They could ring you back at this number.
You can ring us back at this number.
We'll be in touch. What's the matter with you? Now, did you hear all that?
Yes, I heard.
Before you leave here, we want 20,000 nicker.
20,000 nicker, yes. But you are making a bloomer.
Why?
Well, you see, I'm not the manager. I only went in there to arrange a bank account.
Oh, blimey, pull the other one.
No, Arthur, I'm telling you the truth. This is the very application form. Which reminds me, neither of you two are connected with the bank, are you? You see, I require 2 referees. I wondered if you could... You first, Arthur.
Yeah. What do you want in there?
But, Mr. Sugden, we received information not 20 minutes ago that you are being held prisoner and will not be released until £20,000 have been handed over to our informants.
But, Inspector, I'm not a prisoner anywhere. I'm here, sitting in my office.
Yes. Yes, well, it's all obviously been a hoax. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. Good morning, Mr. Sugden.
Well, one moment, Inspector. I think this might be a good moment to discuss your overdraft.
That's World at 1:30. Your presenter was William Hardcastle. And now, the Archers.
Oh, I say, can't we listen to that? Well, it is an everyday story of country folk.
No, we can't. I've got to think. We weren't on the news, Arthur. Something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I want to know how Walter Gabriel is getting on, you see. He had a very nasty accident. He was taking his little dog for a walk. You know, the one he called, oh, me old Pete, oh, me old Pete. And he was on his way to Brookfield Farm to see Dan Archer. That's where Mr. Archer lives with Mrs. Archer. Well, that's why they call the program The Archers.
How long is this going on?
The Archers? Oh, umpteen years. Started when Mrs. Dale was a little girl.
Why don't you belt up? I'm going to get in touch with the bank. That ought to get things going. Right, what's the number?
137.
137 what?
Chesterfield Street.
The phone number.
Oh, I can't give you that.
Well, why not? It's not a secret, you know. I can look it up. It's not as if we were asking you for the combination of the safe, is it?
Oh, I certainly cannot give you that.
You know, I've got to hand it to you, Harry. You're braver than you look, mate.
Arthur, that is one of the nicest things that's said. That's very kind. I
That's
agree.
all right.
That's very...
Why don't you two get the knitting out?
I'm afraid the chief clerk is out at lunch. I'll put you through to the manager.
Well, he says he's putting us through to the manager.
Hey?
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yes, I am. Look, I've had the police onto me already today, and I don't know who you are, and I don't care, but stop wasting my time.
Do sit down, Inspector.
Thank you. Now, Mrs. Maybury, I understand you wish to report a missing person.
Yes, my lodger, Mr. Wortth.
Oh. How many days has he been gone?
Well, he went out at 10 o'clock this morning and he never came back.
You mean he's been out all day? What's wrong with that?
Well, He said he'd be back for lunch, and he should have been, because he only went to the bank. You know, the one on the corner of Chesterfield Street.
Yes, I know. It's my bank. My overdraft is in a terrible state. You say he was at the bank and hasn't been seen since?
Yes, he went to see the manager.
Mrs. Maybury, may I use your telephone?
Of course.
I wonder if you could see if there's a photograph of Mr. Worth anywhere about.
Well, there might be one in his room.
Good.
Can I turn the telly on, Mick?
Yeah. As long as he's not that Barlow. I can't stand him all that shouting. It's so unnecessary.
It's news at 10, mate.
Yeah, all right, switch it on then.
I like the news.
And you?
I know. Shut up.
At the end of the day, a joint communique said the talks had been frank but fruitful. Now news of the attempted snatching of a bank manager in a London suburb this morning. It seems that the assailants made a mistake, and instead of the manager, they took a customer, a Mr. Harry Worth.
Look at that terrible photograph. You know, my Aunt Mabel took that.
Police are urgently trying to find out who was responsible.
Yeah, I can tell them, my Aunt Mabel.
A simple job like that and you mess it up.
Yes, I'm afraid you bungled it, Arthur. All you had to do when you came into that office was say, "Are you the manager?" I would have said no.
Well, why didn't you then?
Because he never asked me. I'm sorry, Arthur.
And high-level discussions on how to deal with the Harry Worth situation are now taking place inside this house at this very moment. Ah, here they come. Mrs. Maybury, I believe that you are Mr. Harry Worth's landlady.
Yes, I am.
Tell me, do you hope to see Mr. Worth again?
Oh, I do hope so.
Mrs. Maybury, has Mr. Worth any money of his own which may be offered in exchange for his freedom?
No, I don't think he has anything at all.
Poor love. She's upset.
Well, of
Are you
course.
going to offer any money yourself?
I haven't got any.
Inspector, is it true that the demand has now been reduced to £5,000?
Yes, it is.
Tell me, Inspector, how do you hope to cope with this new situation?
Well, the bank will not pay a penny to these criminals. Not a penny. But let me say this. We will get Mr. Worth back. Dead or alive.
You're getting worried now, are you?
Yes, I'm worried.
Your landlady look worried too.
Of course she's worried. She knows it's my turn.
Your turn for what?
To do the washing up.
I don't believe it.
I assure you, Mick, it is the truth. I do it at night, she does it in the morning.
I think you're right, Mickey. Here's a nutcase.
Oh, it's getting through now, is it? And it's all your fault.
My fault?
Yeah, if you had 2 pence a cent, you'd have realised it.
Gentlemen.
And you shut up and keep out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
You don't shout at him. It's not his fault we snatched the wrong fella.
It's nobody's fault. It's not yours, his, or mine. Now, why don't you shake hands and apologise? You know, life's too short, too valuable, too precious. There are so many things to be done.
Such as?
Well, I've got to collect my laundry for a start. It's overdue.
I couldn't care less about your laundry.
I care. If you don't get it, they have a right to sell it.
You just don't care, do you, mate?
But I do care. I don't like the idea of someone running around in my shirts.
Why don't you shut up? I've got to think of a way out of this deadlock.
No. I've got an idea.
What?
You collect the laundry.
That's it. I've had enough. I'm sorry, Arthur. I've got to come to some agreement. I can't stand him anymore. He's driving me potty. Hello, is that the police? Now listen, we've still got Mr. Harry Worth, and we're now prepared to let him go for 2,500 quid. All right, 2,000. 1,000? Look, £100 and that's my final offer. Otherwise, something terrible will happen to Mr. Harry Worth. They won't pay.
Not even 100 quid?
Not even 100 quid.
Not even a near offer.
Nothing. All right, then. You can go.
No, I'm not going.
What do you mean, not going?
I'm not going. Surely there must be someone who'll pay something to save me from 2 dangerous criminals.
But we're not dangerous, Harry.
Well, they don't know that, now do they?
But don't you want to go, then?
No. It's too humiliating. You're asking me to go out there and say they let me go for free because nobody cared. I don't believe that. There's always somebody somewhere who cares. Somebody cares for you. Somebody cares for me. Somebody... There's always somebody. And until that somebody comes along and pays something, I'm staying here.
Is that final?
That is final.
All right, Arthur. There's only one thing for it, then. Now, listen.
Yes.
Try and see it from our point of view.
Oh, Inspector, is there any news?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mrs. Maybury. You see, we haven't got much to go on.
But it's the second day.
I know, Mrs. Maybury, but you can rest assured I have the whole force combing the town for Mr. Worth.
Oh, dear.
Not to worry, Mrs. Maybury. It's only me.
Mr. Worth, thank goodness you're safe.
Yes, I'm quite safe.
Was it awful?
It was for Mick and Arthur.
Mick and Arthur. They were the two criminals who held you prisoner.
That's right.
All right, Mr. Worth, let's have the details.
Right. Now, first things first.
Yes.
Shall we sit down?
But, Mr. Worth, you say your captors released you over an hour ago. Now, where have you been since then?
Oh, you see, I had to go to the laundry, or I wouldn't have had any clean shirts.
Yes. Well, please try and describe them.
One is white. The other...
Coloured?
Check.
Look, Mr. Worth, please try and make one last attempt to describe the criminals who held you prisoner. Now, you say one was called Arthur.
Ah, yes, he was a very nice man.
Yes. And the other was called Mick.
Yes, he didn't like Barlow.
He didn't.
Yes. They were both men, and one was about 5 foot with fair hair, and the other one didn't have fair hair.
I see.
And that's about all I can tell you, really.
Well, thank you, Mr. Worth.
Not at all.
You've been a great help.
Well, I've always been very observant, Sergeant.
Inspector.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Mr. Worth, listening to you, I've been thinking. I begin to feel sorry for Mick and Arthur. I'm not surprised they let you go. If it had been me, I'd have paid to get rid of you.
They did. £100.